Hey everybody, Mr. Mack here. Today we're going to look at the second part of quadratic equations. And in this section we're going to look at solving quadratics by using the square root property. We're going to solve by completing the square. And we're going to solve equations by using the quadratic formula. And we'll also take a look at what the discriminant is of the quadratic formula and how that helps us determine the number and the type of solutions. So let's take a look at the square root property first. We have, whenever we have an x squared term only and we have no linear x term in our equation, we can isolate the x squared term and take the square root of both sides. Notice we'll end up getting a positive and negative number for that solution because we get two solutions often for quadratics. So let's take an example here, x squared equals 8. We're going to take the square root of both sides because square root is the inverse operation of squaring. And that's going to give us x equals, so I'll just write this out. This is going to be plus or minus square root of 8. And what is the square root of 8? Well, we can use our radical properties of multiplication. And we know that 4 times 2 is 8, so root 4 times root 2 is root 8, and the square root of 4 is 2. Now, if you weren't sure how to come up with those factors here, we can always just make a prime factorization tree. And we start with 8, and then on the left we try to find our prime number, so I know 2 goes into 8 4 times, and then 4 is 2 and 2, and I can circle my pairs and put a box around my solo number. And so that means a pair of 2's would, if I have 2 times 2, that's 2 squared, and a square root of 2 squared would just be 2. So that maybe this helps you see, the 2 comes out, and then this 2 stays under the radical because it's not a pair. Okay, let's do another one of these, but we just have a little bit more work. So we haven't isolated the x squared term, so that's going to be our first step here, is to isolate this x squared. So let's subtract 1 to both sides first, and we get 4x squared equals 6. And then, so we have to undo the multiply 4 here, so let's divide 4. So now I get x squared equals, so a 6/4, a 2 is a common factor, so that would simplify to 3/2. And then now it's time to undo the squaring here, so we're going to take the square root of both sides, and that gives me plus or minus the square root of 3/2. Now we don't like having a radical in the denominator, so I'm going to rationalize that. We did this in a previous unit, so let's break this up here. So I have plus or minus root 3 divided by root 2, quotient rule of radicals, okay? And now what do we do to get rid of the radical in the denominator? We multiply top and bottom by root 2, and this will give us plus or minus root 6 over 2. The root 2 times root 2 is root 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. And this is our final answer right here. Okay. So I took out -1, square root of -1 is I. Remember that, right? So I is the square root of -1. So that just leaves us I root 7. And if we wanted to write this in standard form for a complex number, this would be negative 1/2 plus I root 7 over 2. And you guys see, we have a complex solution here. We have an imaginary here. So this is not a real solution, but we can still show it as a complex solution. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about here, we have one more example here, but I have to do talk about a new term and its characteristics, is the discriminant. So the b squared minus 4ac that we just talked about here in the quadratic, right, is this part right here. This part right here. Depending on what this value is going to tell us about our solutions. So this is called the discriminant. So it's an expression under the radical in the quadratic formula, b squared minus 4ac, and it'll tell us this right here, okay? If b squared minus 4ac is 0, there's only one rational solution. Okay, it ends up being a double solution, but it's still only one solution. If b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, and it's the number ends up being a perfect square, okay, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, we have two rational solutions. Okay, if it is greater than 0, the discriminant is greater than 0, but it's not a perfect square, that means we're going to get two irrational solutions. Okay, we'll have the square root inside that doesn't simplify. Now, if the b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, that's just like the example that we just did, we're going to have two complex solutions. In other words, we have a real number, potentially, and definitely an imaginary. Okay, so let's take a look at A. The question is, use a discriminant just to determine the nature of the solutions. We're not actually solving it here. So we know that A is 1, B is 4, and C is also 4. Our discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. All right, so we're just going to evaluate this. Put it in. 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. And 4 squared minus 4 times 1, A is 1 and C is 4, 16. And then what does this get right here? Minus 16, that's 0. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's go look at the chart. What happens when the discriminant is 0? We have one rational solution. Okay, so we have one rational solution. All right, that one's done. Next one, let's identify A, B, and C. Notice here we are already in standard form. If we weren't, we would have to get it there. Okay, so we got b squared minus 4ac is the discriminant. And so we got 14 squared minus 4 times 8 times 3. Okay, so 14 squared is 196 minus, let's see here, 4 times 8, this is, let's see, 32, 4 times 8 is 32 times 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 96, okay, 96. 196 minus 96 is 100. Okay, so 100 is a positive number and it's a perfect square. Okay, so we're looking at this second row right here. This has two rational solutions. Remember, rational solutions don't have a radical in there. This is going to be able to be written as a fraction. That's what rational means. Okay, 2 rational solutions. Next one here. So b squared minus 4ac. Negative 5 squared minus 3 times negative 2. So negative 5 squared is positive 25, and I have negative and negative there. It's going to be plus, what do we have? 12 times 2 is 24. 25 plus 24 is 49. 49, okay, so it's positive, but this is a perfect square. Square root of 49 is 7. So this is just like part B over here. It's also 2 rational solutions. Okay. So D, I wonder if we're going to get a complex here, right? Usually the textbook is going to give us a couple of different examples. Let's see what happens here. Do we get a negative for our discriminant? Negative 10 squared minus 4, A is 3. B, C is 15. So negative 10 squared is 100. Minus, okay, 4 times 3 is 25. 25 times 15 is 180. And I get a negative 80 here. The discriminant is negative. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, it's less than 0 right here. 2 complex solutions. So not a real solution. Okay, that's it, everybody. Gone through all the notes. We did using the square root property. We saw complete the square method. We saw how we use the quadratic formula and how we are able to use the discriminant part of the quadratic to determine the types of solutions that we're going to get. Hope that makes sense, and I'll check you later.